Okay, hello everybody. How you guys doing? I hope my audio comes through pretty well. I had to go to a different location. The internet where I was totally went out on the live stream. Totally died, and I had no option. I couldn't use my phone. So now I'm in a different location using my phone, and I felt maybe I could at least talk about my reaction to the debate that happened. So I'm getting a lot of responses, and I thought I'd just do this one video. That way I can kind of shoot this out to everybody else because I just say it one time and everybody can see. Um, right now it's too early to really tell in terms of what the implications of everything were. But I think I can give you an idea of what the president was trying to do. And this is something that I've talked about before. And was a couple of things. Was the president was well, obviously he was trying to get Biden to create a foul, to get upset and to get off his game. So he was really aggressive early on, which I thought was pretty smart. He hit him pretty hard on several things, but ultimately the goal of President Trump was to get Biden to make a decision or to actually take a stand on a position, because anywhere he would do on that position would alienate either the independents who are watching who are undecided, or it would alienate or further worry the left who's running the party, the radical side. And so that's what he was doing. That's why you'd see he would go in there and say, okay, well, you said that with the Green New Deal or whatever, saying you just lost the left, because he was trying to create that wedge. Then he went in with the Bernie Sanders supporters about how with the Green New Deal and with the Antifa and other issues, where he was clearly wanting him to take a stance, even on law and order. He knew that people in the middle, people independents, uh, most Americans respect the police, which is why he stressed law enforcement over and over again about bringing in the National Guard and so forth. And to get Biden to say law and order, he even dared him. You wouldn't even say it. And Biden did say it, but he said law and order and justice. He added the justice part because he had to appease that side of it. So this is what you're seeing here is a cat and mouse game of words, and they're communicating different things to different people. See, Joe Biden wants to say dog whistles, but dog whistles is a term that they tried to place on Richard Nixon, okay, for law and order and so forth. So that's a whole nother story. But every person speaks, communicates in a certain way, and those words mean something. And Biden does it, Trump does it, and so that's what was happening. Now, I had never seen a debate like that, so in your face, out of control, insane. I think part of the reason was because there was no audience in there. Had there been an audience there, I don't think it would have been as nearly as hostile, because you would have gotten a reaction, you would have got boos, and I think that would tamp down some of the hostility on the stage. But I think some of that comes from. I'm not trying to just defend President Trump, but a lot of this is because, and I'm not trying to just, again, I'm not trying to just carry Trump's water here. But in his defense, you have to think, people haven't heard his message. That $3.5 million, that was a Senate committee that came up with that. That wasn't something he just came out of, he made up. $3.5 million from the Russian mayor who's tied to Putin, that was something that just came up this week. The missing ballots all over the place, that's something that's been talked about. Just Veritas project had with a ballots for cash payout with tied to Ileana. I forget her last name. I'm sorry. This Minnesota congresswoman. And so a lot of these times, people who are watching this for the first time are just waking up to stuff. They never heard any of this stuff. And so Trump was not going to be denied. He was going to say what he had to say, and he was going to say it. And he didn't care. He didn't care. He was going to say what he had to say, and if he had to interrupt somebody, so be it. If he had to break the quorum, so be it. I guess he figures them trying to destroy my family, my life, destroy my presidency before I even got inaugurated. all that stuff, which has never been put out. The news that came out today with Hillary Clinton and the leaked emails and the leaked classified documents came out this past week. No one's talking about this stuff. The New York Times didn't talk about any of this stuff, but they want to talk about a tax statement, with which by all means was more or less him just taking losses and moving them forward. It was a total nothing burger. And so a lot of that was probably frustration, but a lot of it was just Trump was not going to be denied. And so I know from an optics standpoint, it didn't look great. It didn't look great. I mean, but again, he's communicating to people who mostly have already decided who they're going to who they're going to vote for. But you have to also remember that the radical left don't like it when Joe Biden goes to the middle. When Joe Biden said, that's my policy, when he basically talked down to the Green Deal and said the Green Deal, not that Green Deal, the Biden plan, right? So he's kind of distancing himself from the radical left and all that. And that they don't like that. I'm telling you, they don't like that. And to people like Tim Pool, who's a leftist, even though he's going to vote for Trump, he said, look, Biden is just a opportunist. He's an establishment person. All he's going to do is once he gets elected is kick the people, the Bernie Bros, those people, the AOCs to the curb. They're going to try and squash that because they're about the establishment. They're using them to get their way, and that's the game that's being played. You gotta see through all that. And also, Trump is just who Trump is. That's how he rolls, right? That's how he rolls. I mean, if Republicans didn't like President Trump, well, then they should have been voting properly for the past 20 years. Maybe there would be a need for Trump. If the Republicans had did what they're supposed to do, maybe there would be no need for Trump. But Trump came in at a time when the party was about to be totally ruined with globalists, people who were just trying to take American interests and move them outside of the country, and other deals, and playing with the Democrats. They're playing the same game, and so that's where Trump came from, right? So yeah, Trump, Trump was Trump. I have to admit, it was something that I'd never seen before on both sides. I mean, Joe Biden called him a clown. The president of the United States called him a clown. So I mean, it was on both sides. So it was really, I know Trump interrupted Biden several times, but if you combine the 37 times that the moderator interrupted in combination with Biden, I'd call it even, because in some ways he was debating both of them. So that's my thought. Time will tell how it looks, but I think the next debate, which would be with Kamala Harris and Pence, that'll be way different. And I think the next time they debate again, these two, I think it'll be much more civil. I think they've got all that stuff out, and I think that will play it differently. And so most people tuned out anyway after the first 15 minutes anyway. So who knows what it is? But I'm interested to see what people think about this. I'd be curious. So yeah, the establishment doesn't like Trump. Nope, they don't. Read some comments here. So that's that's kind of my thoughts. So it just happened. So I have no idea in terms of how accurate I am in my statements, but this is my feelings right now. So anyway, so I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys next time.